Hello everyone, I am Sibyl, and this is the Sibyl podcast. Hello everyone, welcome back to the show and Happy New Year. While the show is on break, I decided to air this episode right away because it was a matter of urgency, and then by the time we're done with this episode, you understand why. Well, this is the Mosiblings podcast, a podcast about culture and cultural nomad dedicated to Blacks and Asians and those who love them. I'm your host, Mosiblings, Nigerian born, US educated, Korean speaking, struggling intellectual. Well, it's that time of the year to actually renew my Nigerian passport, and it's usually something that takes a lot of effort and stress on my end, and I was looking for a cheaper way to do it rather than traveling to Atlanta or DC or New York, because those are the available places in the US to have your passport renewed. And then I went online to find out ways to do that, and I stumbled upon an article that expressed fraud in the Nigerian passport issuance, and it was from a website that was managed by the Nigerian Foundation. And reading more about the article, which was sometime on Monday, like some days ago, it kind of expressed everything that I thought was wrong with our system as far as passport issuance for those in the diaspora. And so I took that leap of faith and contacted the president of the website, and he was kind enough to reply me almost right away. And the rest, as I say, is history. His name is Professor Umez. He's the president of the Nigerian Foundation in Houston, Texas, and also the founder of the Nigerian Leadership Council in the United States. He has expressed some serious concerns about the way Nigerian consulate issues passports in the United States. So everyone join me in welcoming Professor Bedford Umez to the podcast. Hello, sir.
Hello, Dr. Mo.
Thank you so much. Don't worry, you can call me Mo for this show. A lot of my listeners don't even know I'm Dr. Mo, so.
Okay,
but
Mo,
thank you.
How are you?
Yes, I'm very fine, sir. Thank you so much. So let's just get right into it. Like I said, I really enjoyed reading your article on the Nigerian passport issue, and I was so quick to send it to my friends so they could also get more enlightened by it. So can you just tell us a little bit about some of the elements on the article that you wrote about, starting with the cost of the Nigerian passport?
The cost of the passport is very simple. Ages of 17 and below is $77. Ages of 18 to 59 is $106. And over 60 is $77.
Oh, that's quite straightforward. How does one get one?
Okay. You apply online, pay the necessary fee that I just mentioned, print the application form and the payment slip, and take it to the Nigerian consulate.
Perfect. You have written on the extortion and corruption regarding the ways Nigerian consulates issue passports in the United States, called the passport intervention exercise. What is actually going on with that?
Let me start by saying that Nigerian consulate officers in the United States are paid in full, are paid well by Nigerian government. So when our government learned that some consul general was dubiously charging Nigerians extra cash for processing the passport, it quickly banned such service charge. In addition to banning the processing fee, our government required that the ban be permanently posted on the consulate website for all Nigerians to take note. Indeed, the ban has been on the website of Nigerian consulate to this very day, February 28, 2019. In addition, the government has been warning Nigerians against patronizing what the Nigerian immigration officer called third-party touts, who have been working in cahoots with some consul general for over 3 years now. Above all, Nigerians must know that both the ban and the warning are posted permanently on the website of Nigerian consulate. That said, let me now read the ban. I'm just going to read it.
Okay.
As posted on the consulate website. Now I'm reading from the website of the Nigerian consulate, Atlanta, and I quote, "Public notice. The general public is hereby notified that with effect from April 13, 2017, the Nigerian consulate in Atlanta will not levy a $30 service administrative charge on applications for Nigerian passport and visas. The general public is hereby advised to forward all inquiries to the consulate via the following email address: info@nigerianconsulate.atlanta.org. Also, on the same Atlanta website, it says, and I quote again, "Important notice to passport applicants. The consulate does not have an agent acting on its behalf. Passport applicants are advised to come to the consulate for their interview and biometrics only with a valid appointment. Now, on the website of the Nigerian Embassy in Washington, D.C., this is how the warning reads, and I quote, e-passport application procedures and requirements. Applicants are advised not to pay to any third party. All payment must be made online through, then they gave the website, which is immigration.org.nigeria. On January 21st, about a month ago, the Nigerian Immigration Service spokesperson, Mr. Sunday James, issued this warning through the Nigerian Guardian newspaper, and I quote, Nigerians should avoid patronizing third party or touts and utilize the online platform provided by the service for their passport application. So there has been a ban, and there have been warnings about the obvious extortion and dubious extortion in the name of passport intervention exercise. But do the ban and the warnings mean anything to some greedy consul general and his third-party agents? No. To them, the ban and the warning are pure window dressings. To them, it is a golden opportunity to extort hundreds of thousands of dollars from Nigerians in the United States. So the consular and his third-party touts, usually about 8 of them, continue to charge Nigerians through an open fraud, $100 for an unnamed consular and a minimum of $50 to unnamed third-party touts. This is very similar to an open fraud one sees in Nigeria within some Nigerian law enforcement officers along the highway. When some police will stop you openly, you bribe them in front of everybody. That is what these people are doing. You issue them $100 money order and $50 in money order just for service. This is sad, very, very sad.
Thank you for that. And that's the next follow-up question to that would be, to what extent do you think, extortion and corruption is involved?
The extortion is so brutal because the consul general and his touts are mindless and ruthless in their bogus charges. The cost of the passport for an adult is $106. They charge you extra $150, far more than the cost of the passport itself. The cost of passport for a child is $77. They charge you extra $150, far more than the cost of passport itself. Think of how much that will be if you have children. The extortion is obscene as far as I'm concerned because it shocks the conscience. It offends our sense of morality and decency. It is an act of pure depravity, as the touts and their master have no iota of consideration for their fellow citizens. Of course, the extortion, to me, is systemic. Why? Because we are talking about some agents of our government working in cahoots with some touts to defraud innocent, unsuspecting Nigerians. Last year, for example, 2 bank accounts were created by these touts and third parties. One with Wells Fargo and the other one with Bank of Americans. And they have the temerity to tell Nigerians, to instruct Nigerians to pay $220 on a passport that will cost you $106, to go and deposit those funds into those 2 accounts. Is it not just a way to open a door for what we call money laundering? The extortion is chronic because it has been going on for so long. Indeed, here is the math of this big extortion. $100 in money order to be given to an unnamed consular. $50 money order to be given to unnamed third-party agent. So, if 3,000 Nigerians from Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Louisiana, Oklahoma apply for passport for next week, $300,000 will be paid to an unnamed consul. If you multiply 3,000 by $100, or 108 million naira will be paid to an unnamed consul, and 150,000, that is $50 multiplied by 3,000 people, or 54 million naira will be paid to unnamed covert third-party individuals in just 3 days. Again, this kind of extortion is not only the worst kind, it is obscene and therefore must be stopped by any means necessary.
Thank you for that. You mentioned some unnamed parties, but since they're using Bank of America or even Wells Fargo, do you recall the names associated with those bank accounts so we can just call them now?
Yes, I have the information I don't have it with me. I will send it to you in print.
Okay.
The names are there. You have to tell us that we have to pay this money to an ambassador that is not the ambassador of Nigeria here in the United States.
Thank you for that. I look forward to getting that information so I can send it out with the podcast announcement.
Of course.
There's a saying that goes that the true deterrent to crime is not the severity, but the certainty of the punishment. So what do you think are the solutions to end, such extortion and corruption?
That's a big one. I got a surprising call from Nigeria last week, February 20, to be specific, which was the direct response to my earlier alert to Nigerians on February 3rd concerning the heartless extortion of Nigerians by some consul general and his touts. In that phone call, the caller left me some comments which I want the audience to ponder, and I paraphrase. Yes, Nigerian government will deal with any consul general who violates its rules and regulations in the United States. However, you people in the United States must be blamed also for this extortion and fraud. Why do you people continue to pay a consul general and his third-party agents processing fees that are not only prohibited by the government of Nigeria, but are by far more than the cost of passport itself? I suspect you people in the United States earn dollars easily, as some of us here in Nigeria think. His comments left me paralyzed. My only reply was simply this. Most of us do not know about the ban and the warning. That said, we must do something to stop the fraud. And that is what I think we should do. I am asking fellow Nigerians to stop employing the usual solution to our problems to this one. And what is that usual solution?
Bribe it away.
This is unfortunate. God will punish them. God will help us, Nigerians. For the record, I believe in the same God, okay, who can do anything, okay. However, this same God we are worshiping is not mocked. He made it clear that whatever we sow is what we're going to reap. I believe the same God who told us that faith without work is useless. Here is my point. I do not think God will come down, okay, and command those who are extorting us to stop. I don't think he will do that. God gave us the sense to say no to extortion and exploitation. I do not think God will come down here and stop corruption among us. Indeed, why we might not always please God in all we do, I still believe it is our duty to divine God's will. So specifically, Nigerians now know the truth about the passport intervention exercise. Specifically, we know that the ban is in place. We know the warning. Therefore, we must not continue to be the he-goat who continue to lead himself to the slaughterhouse, because we are not goats. So from today, February 28th, this is what I have to say. Anyone who pays $100 for money order to be given to an unnamed consular, or $50 money order to be given to an unnamed third party, is making a complete fool of himself or herself. Every minute of the day, educated Nigerians are complaining about corruption here and there. Such complaints fill over the so-called social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter. But guess what? The corrupt will not change his ways because he or she knows that Nigerians are complaining. He will not. We, the most educated, now I'm not making this up. According to study, Nigerians are the most educated immigrant in the United States. Pass white, pass everybody. Okay? Now, if that is the case, it is stupid of us to allow this big ugly head of corruption to continue in our midst. We must stop the extortion now and pay only the required fee by the Nigerian government. I know some people will say, yes, I can afford it. I can afford $150. But that is not the issue. We must know that the only major difference between developed and undeveloped countries is the rule of law.
That's true.
We must follow the law. Corrupt individuals will never stop. In fact, we must know that the most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. If the oppressed keep quiet, the oppressors will never stop. Now, Nigerians must also know you can travel to Nigeria with an expired Nigerian passport. That is clear. You can go to your country with an expired passport. When you get to Nigeria, you get yourself Nigerian passport within 1 day. Second or third, I have authored a petition to Nigerian government to establish Nigerian consulate in Houston, the oil capital of the world with the largest population of Nigeria, or at least give any one of us here in Houston the position of an honorary consul general, completely non-salaried position, to start issuing passports to Nigerians in Houston and its environs, Austin, San Antonio, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Over 1,000 Nigerians signed the petition, and it has been mailed to Nigerian government on June 8, 2018. Unfortunately, some consul general and his third-party agents are working against this petition, given the size of their extortion. Notice that so many countries, including Cameroon, Ghana, Ethiopia, Egypt, Finland, France, Germany, Japan, Hungary, New Zealand, South Africa, Tanzania, etc., have honorary consul generals in Houston. So the time has come when the most educated immigrants in the United States, that is Nigerians, stand on principle and stop 419, fraud, extortion, and corruption that are destroying our economy, our image, and the image of our country. These third-party touts or groups must know that we are no longer going to be their fools. Enough must be enough. So my final advice to fellow Nigerians in Houston, Dallas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, come next week. There is no reason for you to go and patronize fraud. No reason for you. You know you can travel to Nigeria with expired passport and get yourself passport. In fact, it even pays to get that visa. If you have American passport, it pays to get that visa, $150 or thereabout. Go to Nigeria and get yourself passport within 1 day. Not only that, efforts are being made by some group here in Houston and Dallas, because we just got an information that some people in Dallas went, and I have the information with me, went to register an organization in Dallas on January 3rd, 2019, for the sole purpose of handling passport and dividing the money among themselves. We cannot allow this to continue. We just cannot. So what I'm asking our people, even if you go there, wherever the passport intervention exercise is going on, do not be a fool. If Nigerian government want you to pay extra $100 to the consulate, extra $50 or more to the third party, let them advertise it on their website, as they advertised $106 for adults and $77 for children. We cannot be complaining about corruption day in, day out, only to acquiesce or support individuals we know that are duping us big time. They should go and get a job just like every one of us. Okay?
Yeah.
Do not look at it on individual basis. Look at it, the exploitation. Let the principle reign. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that lengthy explanation. Just a follow-up question to that. Maybe those that are going for one of those passport intervention exercises, is there like a number or an email, if they like had like video evidence or, picture evidence like sent to somebody in power, in authority to do something about this? If they catch people in the act that are, perpetuating this corruption and extortion, where can they send that to? I mean, do you have any resources on that?
Very valid, good point. This is the age of technology. We have to catch these fraudulent individuals who are extorting hundreds of thousands of dollars from us without mercy. That is inhumane. They have no sense of humanity.
For those that are not affiliated with your group, maybe people that attend any other passport intervention exercise, would you be willing to be like a recipient of those information if they had access to them?
Of course.
All right.
I will try to make sure that if anything happens like that, some people give me information all the time. I use the ones that I know that are valid, because one thing with me, I do not say or write things that are not firmly accurate.
Yeah.
Okay? So that you can take it to anywhere. It will become completely irrefutable. That's the way I operate. I see some things some people write or say they won't even have a source. Everything I told you now has complete source. And the reason why I do that, not only that, when I go to their website, not only that I refer people to their website, I also use Google to screen a photo of their website as it was that day I saw it. Because I know some of these people, they will go and delete it and put something else. Now, this is Google screenshot, completely usable in any court of law. In fact, what I posted, you saw.
Yeah.
You can see that I posted, say, if you click on their website, you don't see it. Here is the Google screen copy with the date and all the time I photocopied it. So that nobody will say tomorrow, we didn't say that. No. Just like what I told you now, it's on their website. If you click on it right now, all those quotes.
Thank you. How can people reach you? What's your email?
Okay, people can reach me in so many ways. umez.com. That is my official website where I have my own foundation. My official email is umez@umez.com. Okay, my name at myname.com. Or umez2006@gmail.com. And my phone number, which is also obtainable from my website, umez.com.
Okay, look, I will send that information out. Do you have any final words before I wrap up the session?
Oh, thank you very, very much, Mo. You are doing a wonderful job for our people. Information to me is very, very important.
Yeah.
Information is very, very important. You know, we say knowledge is power. I rephrase it a bit. I say knowledge is only power if you put that knowledge to use. Okay, people might know whatever they want to know. I know my right, but you are not demanding that you are right. That knowledge is a waste, complete one. Okay, so knowledge is not power by itself. It is only when we apply that knowledge to use. Okay, one of the things I keep on asking my people to do every day is to think. Okay. Over the years, I've come to recognize that nothing will beat thinking. Okay. So only when people do not think before they do anything, they always make a mistake. Okay. Just think of what we just discussed today and ask yourself, is it the normal thing for anybody to do to his own brother and sister? To want to eat people, making this kind of money because they know that you and I need passport, just like fish needs water.
Yeah.
But that should not give them a carte blanche to simply kill all of us. That will not happen again and again. The greatest weapon in the hands of an oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Thank you.
Thank you for that. When you're talking about knowledge being powerful only when it's put to use, kind of reminded me of Newton's first law of motion, that an object will remain at rest or in uniform motion in a straight line unless acted upon by external force. Knowledge can be potential, but then you have to apply something to it to make it kinetic and then dynamic. And then I'll end up with a saying by Edmund Burke, who was an Irish philosopher and politician. He said, evil prevails when good men do nothing. So Nigerians are listening to this. We need to build our country and fight back. Don't buy the problem away by putting money in a sachet where you're not supposed to pay money for. And when you see any of these things happening, we've provided Professor Umez's email address. You can please send those information to him. Do not pay more than what you're supposed to pay. The information is clearly outlined on the Nigerian's embassy's website, which I'm going to furnish alongside with this podcast episode. Nigeria is a great country, but we, its citizens, or her citizens, we have a long way to go in expressing, the potential of the country. And thank you all. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Umez. This was a show, the Mosible podcast. You can email me at talktomo@mosible.com. I'm on Twitter and on Instagram and Facebook as MOSIBYL. And I look forward to connecting with as many of you as possible. Well, have a wonderful night rest, and thank you so much.
Thank you too. Bye-bye.
All right.
Even if them burn the oil, Nigeria could survive. I say if them drink the oil, no matter how them try, Nigeria could survive. I roots them strong for ground, ancestors no go green, Nigeria could survive. The God of thunder and lightning, unite and shield Nigeria. check out, oh.
Say what?
Stay and build your country. Nigeria go survive. Now who go die for you, oh? Blood is thicker than water. Nigeria go survive. If our leaders do them best, oh. Andrew go straight to help, oh. Nigeria go survive.